Don't start a business if you can't sell. If you don't know how to convey the value of your product or service to others, do not start a business. Or listen to me and I'll show you how to sell your service. G'day guys, Ron here from ronaldosborne.org, where I help business owners and entrepreneurs like yourself achieve their version of success. Today, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to sell your services. Understand the problem that you solve. Now, there's a couple of reasons why you need to understand the problem that you solve when you're trying to sell your services. Because it helps you identify who the target individual is for your product or service. It'll help you articulate your message so you can get rid of the fat that's involved with that message. So you don't need to sit there and gives you this, and this. You can just sit there and say, hey, this is the main thing about my services that will help. Now, if you don't know the problem that you're solving, think about the end result. So a lot of my customers actually have a problem. They say to me, Ron, I don't know how to actually describe my service in the best light, or even my product in the best light to my clients. And I always say, think about the end goal. If you think about it like this, I have a digital marketing agency that specializes in search engine optimization, right? Now, it's not my job to just sit there and place someone as number one position. That's what we want to achieve. But why do we want to do that? It's not just for an ego boost. It's actually to bring in leads. That's what it is. We want people calling those business owners. So the main problem that I'm actually solving is lead generation. So that is what SEO is. So when I sit there and talk about SEO to potential clients, I don't sit there and say, I'll rank you number one and, there you go, you can chat about it to your friends. No, I sit there and say, if you're ranking number one for this is a search volume, this is a possible amount of phone calls that you could be getting, which could lead to X amount of revenue for your business. Think about the end goal or the end problem that you actually solve. That is a great way of looking. Begin your outreach. You'll need to contact people that you believe will benefit from your services. Again, in the example of me, ranking number one in Google is quite beneficial for a local individual or e-commerce, anything that sells something online. Very, very powerful to rank number one on Google for that. But it's not so important, let's say, for something like SeaWorld. It doesn't really matter to them. Everyone knows what it is. Everyone will be typing in SeaWorld. They won't be necessarily looking for a theme park. So ensure that you go after the people that you've identified the problem that you're solving for. Now, your outreach can be like through inbound marketing or outbound marketing. So your inbound marketing can be with your SEO, your PPC, someone's actively typing and looking for that service, which is excellent because the likelihood of you converting that individual is a lot higher. As an example, so let's just say you're looking for a landscaper in Fort Lauderdale. If I'm ranking number one or my client's website is ranking number one, what's the likelihood that you'll go with my client? Very, very high. Now, if we sit there and look at that through cold, so perhaps cold outreach, cold email marketing, cold calling even, social media advertising, all of this, it's a little bit colder. You'd only be sitting there and be like, yeah, maybe I do need a landscaper, or I'll try and remember that. So a bit of brand awareness. So you want to try and hit everyone on all different channels if possible. Monitor your successes and your failures. When you're trying to sell your service, some people will really want it, others won't. You need to understand why people are buying it and why they're not. I would highly recommend that you actually have an app, like something like on your Zoom, you're recording your meeting, so you can sit there and meticulously review the information and go, why did this person buy my services? Why did this person say, I don't want to ever purchase your service? Perhaps you're targeting the wrong individuals. That's why it's very, very important that you monitor your failures and your successes, because it'll give you a lot of insight. Collect all of that data and build scripts. Now, a lot of people sit there and say, Ronald, I don't want to build a script for my employees or for myself. That's just not how I operate. And I agree. I'm the exact same. Right now in front of me, I just have bullet points of what I need to cover because that's how I operate. All of this is all from here. That's how I do it. And you can do it that way too. Just ensure that your script, bullet points, whatever you have, has all of the key points on there. Now, because you've gone through and analyzed the data of the successful meetings and the failed meetings where you didn't sell your services, you'll be able to sit there and go, okay, I need to mention this, and this. And it will just be there in front of you so you don't forget it. Constantly retune and improve your sales pitches. Now, I don't care who you are. If you're a CEO of a business and you have 50 employees underneath you, you need to be on the phone at least for for a couple of hours once a week. Now, some people don't like it when I actually say this because they sit there and say, I'm too busy. I can't afford to sit there for an hour a week on the phone trying to prospect. You should. As a business owner, you should. I contribute a lot of the success I've had in business to being able to keep my ear to the ground. It's very important that you hear the pain points of everyday business owners that you're trying to help. With inflation and everything else running rampant right now, there's going to be different problems that are arising for different business owners that weren't there 2 years ago. That's just the case of it. That's why it's very important that you continuously listen to the business owners. This will also help you create and develop new services or optimize the current service that you're trying to sell, because there might be a pain point that has now become the main feature and the benefit of your service that you're trying to sell, but that message isn't being conveyed across to the potential client because your team doesn't know that that's a high point of the service that you're trying to sell. That's why it's very important that you as a business owner help get on those phones and you chat with people and find out real problems that everyone's facing. Whatever you do, don't give up on selling your service. Sales is hard, and honestly, it takes a lot of work. But if you want to be a successful business owner, you need to have some sort of sales skills. You don't need to sit there and be a master manipulator. You just need to sit there and say, hey, this product or this service that I'm trying to sell will help the problem that you have. If you do that, I assure you that a lot of customers are going to be very interested. Now, some people do think that it's being a bit pushy by doing all of that. You don't need to be nervous about that. Honestly, the only thing that I try to say to all of my clients when I'm coaching them through the sales process is just think about that. If you're giving someone the solution to a problem and they're willing to pay for that, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that at all. You're not being pushy. As an example, back to my marketing agency, if someone wants to get more work and we can do that for them, that's not being pushy. That's providing a solution. People are happy to pay for that solution. That's how I've been able to do well, is because I provide a solution to a problem that someone's having. You don't need to sit there and think, I'm being too forceful. You're not being too forceful. You're actually trying to help people by selling your product. So don't think about it as a salesman sort of attitude that you need to have. No, you're trying to help someone. Now, if I have answered the question of how to sell your services, make sure you hit that like button, you subscribe. If you need help with your sales process or selling your services, you want to know the appropriate structure, reach out to me. There'll be a link down below. I'd be more than happy to work with you as your business coach, and I look forward to seeing you again. Cheers.